Cassie and you're watching TIGR Reviews on the Indie Game Report. Today we're knocking over trash cans looking for stinky tasty treats and shiny little objects in a game called Trash Pandas from Michael and Lisa Eskew. Trash Pandas is a 2 to 4 player game in which players are trying to have the most cards of each trash type by the end of the game. Players are going to roll a die and try to collect actions by rolling their die, but if they roll an action that they have already rolled that turn, they end up busting and have to stop their turn. Let's go take a look and see if we make a lucky raccoon in Trash Pandas. Welcome to Trash Pandas. This game is a simple press your luck game in which players take turns rolling the die, trying to obtain the actions they want to perform on their turn. Players may draw cards from the deck as one of those actions, and once the deck runs out, the game ends. The game begins with a deck of different trash cards shuffled up to create the draw deck. Some cards in the deck provide only actions when played. Others, however, provide actions when played, or points when stored in the player's safe area known as their stash. Only cards in a player's stash are worth points at the end of the game, which means players must decide whether they will want to use cards for the actions or for the points, as cards used for actions are discarded once they are used. In the beginning of the game, each player will have a starting hand, and the starting player will begin with 2 cards for their hand. The next player to their left will get 3 cards, and the next player to their left will get 4, and so on, until everybody has their starting hand. Then to start her turn, the start player will roll the die. Each face of the die represents a token on the table, and each token represents an action a player may take on her turn. Once the player rolls the die, she then takes a token matching the die face, and now must choose if she wants to keep rolling or stop and take her action. If she decides to keep rolling and she rolls and it lands on an action she's already rolled for that turn, she then must stop rolling, take a card from the deck, and end her turn without performing the actions she rolled for. There are cards in the deck, however, that a player might use that will help her either re-roll or perhaps ignore the last roll that she made. If the active player decides to keep rolling and she doesn't bust on her turn, she again gets to take the matching token and again must decide if she wants to keep rolling or stop rolling and take as many actions as she chooses from the one she's rolled for. When she decides to stop rolling, she then can take as many of the actions she rolled for as she wants. Some actions will let you stash cards or draw more cards. You might be able to steal cards or use a token that you didn't roll for that turn. At any point during the active player's turn, she may also play cards from her hand for their actions by discarding them and performing the action on the card. Once the active player has taken all her actions she wants, she turns in any remaining tokens and then passes the die to the next player. He then takes his turn in the same manner, beginning with rolling the die and then choosing to press his luck further or stop and take his action. Once the deck runs out, the player whose turn it is finishes his turn. Then all players figure their scores out from their stashed cards. The cards with these 3 icons have to do with majority. Whichever player has the most of the type of card in their stash earns the points in gold. The player with the second most amount earns the points in silver, and then third earns the points in the bronze. The player with the most points from all their stashed cards wins Trash Pandas. Trash Pandas is a very simple but really delightful little game. It's, like I said, it's very simple. All you do is have to roll a die, and then you have to choose if you want to roll again or if you want to take the actions that you earned. Having actions dictated by what you roll also makes the game even easier than it already was, because players don't have to think about what actions they want to take. They can only take the ones that they rolled for. There are a few decisions, of course, that players will have to make with their hand, having to decide whether they want to put a card in their stash or if they want to play the card for its action. But again, they can only stash as many cards as they rolled for their actions. So it just makes the game very accessible and easy to learn and easy to play. I really enjoyed the artwork of Trash Pandas. It was very simple, but the colors were really bright, and I love bright colors and I love simplistic artwork. I don't know, I'm not an artist, so I'm not exactly sure how to describe the art, but it's very light and it's not too graphic, and it was just really attractive to me. I can't give any judgment to the quality of the game because the copy I received was a prototype copy, but I can say that with the copy I received, I didn't have any issues learning the rules, and I also didn't have any issues trying to understand how the game played. There is one note I would like to make about Trash Pandas, and that is the scalability of the game for different player counts. There is no adjustment made to the game, regardless of player count, So the length of the gameplay is going to be different depending on how many players you have. The game plays until you draw the last card in the deck, so if you have more or less players, it's going to take more or less time to get to that last card in the deck. Regardless of the scalability, I still found Trash Pandas to be a very delightful game. It's definitely all about press your luck and hand management, choosing how you want to play your cards, but it's a nice filler. It's very accessible, and it works well for families with little children because you don't really have to do too much. You just roll a die and then they take what they roll. So this game is very accessible for adults and for children. If you're looking to add an accessible filler game to your collection, you can learn more about Trash Pandas at the links down below. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe or leave a comment. And if you'd like the Indie Game Report to check out your game, you can check out our website down below. Thanks for watching. I'm Cassie on TIGR Reviews, signing out with Trash Pandas from Red Rook Games.